So when I got to work today, literally everybody was talking about the association between Tylenol and autism and what the president of the US just said about it and what the FDA had released and things like that. So I thought I'd give you my thoughts on it. But first, I want to show you this video of Trump. It really made me laugh, and I think it's going to make you laugh too. So watch this video.
Don't take Tylenol. Don't give Tylenol to the baby after the baby's born. Every time the baby gets a shot, the baby gets a shot. They say, here, take a cup of Tylenol. I've heard that for years. Effective immediately, the FDA will be notifying physicians that the use of acetaminophen, which is basically commonly known as Tylenol, during pregnancy can be associated with a very increased risk of autism.
So then I went to the FDA website and I looked at the studies that they cited. And one of the studies was from 2019, and it looked at about 9,000 children from, I think, 1993 to 2005, where they saw that out of those 9,000 children, about 8% of them had autism. And when they did the questionnaires on the moms, 95% of those mothers with the autism children had reported that they took Tylenol during their pregnancy. So they just made that association. And the other study was done in 2020, the one that FDA linked, and it was about 996 participants, where they found that increased cord markers of metabolites of acetaminophen were linked with increased rates of ADHD and ASD, which is autism spectrum disorder. But, you know, the sample size is pretty small. And it's important to note that both of these studies only linked like an association during pregnancy and not if you were to take Tylenol before or after the pregnancy. So that's important to note. And so then I looked at what the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists had to say about this, and they pretty much stand firm on the fact that Tylenol is a very important medicine when it comes to pregnancy, and it's one of the only medications that's been proven to be safe for headaches and pain control and reducing fever in pregnancy. And they pretty much call out these remarks of connecting Tylenol to autism as irresponsible and not having enough scientific evidence. And so in my opinion, I do think that there's not enough evidence. I think that there's just way too many variables to be accounted for, and just, you know, linking Tylenol and autism it's very difficult to prove. I do believe that if you're pregnant or even in general, like, we should take medications only when needed, and if you can avoid taking medications, I think that's the best thing to do. But I don't think that Tylenol causes autism. At least we don't have significant evidence of that yet. Lastly, I do think there's other factors of increased autism, which is, first of all, we weren't studying autism and recognizing it as much as we are now. We now know more than ever about autism and these conditions, so we can recognize it more and diagnose it more. The other thing is that people are choosing to get pregnant much later in life. Like a lot of late 30s pregnancies are happening more now than there were before. And I think that that increased maternal age is also linked to increased autism, and we know that. Lastly, there's other variables in the pictures, like microplastics. People are really concerned about that right now. That's a big hot topic. The other thing is, like, we've had, like cell phones for the last 20, 30 years that have really become prominent. Before that, it wasn't as common. So, you know, with the connection and everything like that, who knows? And then the other thing, the final point that I want to bring home is that some of this stuff is also genetic and hereditary. So, you know, who knows? Nobody can really say if Tylenol, causes autism. We don't have any significant evidence yet, I don't think. Let me know your thoughts.